fun of me for what I'm looking like right now.
I'm sure they're gonna kill me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is being filmed on my laptop photo booth thing. My camera's charging. I also need the SD card to edit this video, so I'm just going to use this as my intro. So pretty much this is a surprise video to everyone that's on my channel that's used to me posting on Thursdays. But since today is May 4th, Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you, everybody. But yeah, I wanted to post a special Star Wars themed video. I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt that my brother-in-law gave me. And yeah, I am painting a Star Wars themed painting with some Star Wars facts. So if you guys want to come along and watch it and learn some things about Star Wars that you didn't know, if you're not a fan, maybe continue watching because maybe you will be a fan. Or just watch if you like painting and it like suits you. I don't know. Just watch it if you want. Don't watch it if you don't want to watch it. I don't really care. I like it. And yeah. Let's get on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to another Meghan voiceover. Like I said in the intro, I am just doing this because it's May the 4th, and yeah, May the 4th be with you, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's just get on with the facts. So, the first fact is the word Ewok is never actually spoken out loud in the films. We all know what to call the furry creatures of Endor, and most people would probably assume we heard the word from our favorite protocol droid, C-3PO. Turns out it's another piece of popular culture that we've been remembering incorrectly. However, the word does appear in the final credits of Return of the Jedi. Fact number 2, which I did not think was a fact for Star Wars until I was reading up on it. Tupac was almost going to be Mace Windu. Mace Windu was played by Samuel J. Jackson. The fact that Tupac was almost played as Mace Windu would have changed the entire aspect of Star Wars. Let me explain it. Tupac reportedly told Rick Clifford, former chief engineer at Death Row Records, that he was to read for George Lucas and they wanted him to be a Jedi. But the part was ultimately given to Samuel Jackson, and filming The Phantom Menace began less than a year after Tupac's untimely death. It's another universe. Mace Windu could have been very different indeed. I did not know that, and that just blew my mind when I heard that. Jar Jar Binks is responsible for the destruction of the Jedi. There's a whole list of reasons as to why he is the most disliked character in Star Wars universe. Personally, I love Jar Jar. He was the funniest person in Star Wars. I loved him when I was little, and I still love him now. But there's one that's forgotten by many. The fact that he has directly handed Palpatine the means to execute Order 66. Jar Jar Binks gave a passionate speech to the Galactic Senate and persuaded them to vote in a favor of giving the Chancellor emergency powers. That gave Palpatine the power to overthrow the Senate and almost wipe out every living Jedi with one move. Great work, Jar Jar! You almost just destroyed the entire galactic universe. So here's the fact that I didn't know, is that E.T. was in Star Wars. Well, not the original E.T. exactly, but his alien species has presence within Star Wars, which I did not flippin' know. NSYNC had a cameo in Attack of the Clone Wars. The popular boy band were invited to briefly appear as Jedi in Episode 2 for the single reason of appeasing George Lucas's daughter. But alas, they never made it to the big screen as they were cut from the final version. Maybe they'll reappear in another George Lucas director's cut. I thought that was hilarious that they went to the set, filmed a scene, and then in the final cut they were never in it, which is hilarious. The next fact, the famous line, I have a bad feeling about this in every movie. I look forward to hearing this line every single Star Wars movie. The line has become a beloved running gag to all. It does vary slightly each time, but the sentimental part of it is always the same. The expression was first uttered by Luke Skywalker in A New Hope, and most recently by BB-8 in The Last Jedi. Next fact is the colors of the lightsabers actually had some meanings. In earlier times of the Jedi, different colors were used to distinguish between ranks. Lightsabers made with blue or green crystals indicated whether a Jedi was a guardian or a counselor. The more exotic colors were made with crystals that were very, very hard to come by and were often passed down through generations. In later years, this destination fell out of the practice of the Jedi. The Empire Strikes Back features the most stop-motion animation. Stop-motion animation is certainly a long and grueling process with a whole day's of work, usually amounted to just 5 seconds of film. The original Star Wars trilogy featured a lot of stop motion and non-quick as much as Episode 5. Most likely because of those intricate scenes with the AT-ATs in the Battle of Hoth. The hard work paid off through with the special effects still standing up in the movies today. Next fact, it took 3 hours to film the first opening crawl. So I don't know if anybody's not a Star Wars fan and is watching this, but every Star Wars movie, well, if you know Star Wars or you don't know it, but you know this one specific thing Star Wars always does, is they always have like an opening of like the yellow letters in black with like the Star Wars music in the background saying like, kind of giving you like a summary or intro to what's going to be happening within the movie. That took 3 hours to film, and this is why. One of the most recognizable movie introductions in history would take no time at all to mock up with today's technology. But back in 1977, when making A New Hope, the effect was created by using 2-foot wide yellow letters over a 6-foot black paper background. A camera was then used to make a slow, sweeping pass overhead, and the result gave us the crawl we've come to expect in all movies. That blew my mind. I see the video right here that I want to watch it right after I'm done filming this voiceover, because I want to see what it looks like, and I want to see if I could see the letters and see if it's like computerized now, but I want to see how it looked in the original 1977 version. Next fact, the popular line, "I am your father," was kept a secret even from the cast. One of the biggest cinematic reveals of all time was kept a very closely guarded secret during filming. The infamous "I am your father" line was penned in the script as Obi-Wan killed your father. Both cast and crew believed this to be the real line, except from Mark Hamill, who was told literally moments before shooting the scene about the truth of Luke's heritage. That was insane. If it was going to be filmed as Obi-Wan killed your father, I think the entire Star Wars trilogy would be completely different. Now that I'm seeing like this in writing, if I Am Your Father wasn't in it, I think that would have been insane. Because then Obi-Wan would be, that's a whole nother story. I can't even get into that because then I would go crazy. It's impossible to obtain an original theatrical version of Star Wars. Every release has been altered in some way or form. Even some of the later theatrical releases distributed in 1977 had changes made to them. Many of the changes centered on visual effects and sound quality, as Lucas was dissatisfied with the original version of all 3 films in the original trilogy. But There were also more controversial changes, such as the notorious Han shot first scene. Revenge of the Sith has more visual effects than any of the films in history. In 2005, release has 2,151 separate scenes that use special effects, setting a world record. The film needed 910 artists and 441 men hours to create 49 seconds of footage for a Monstrafar duel alone. Oh my god, that's insane. Yoda and the Muppets Miss Piggy are voiced by the same person. Frank Oz, an English-born puppeteer, actor, and filmmaker, was the voice of both Yoda and Miss Piggy, as well as other on-screen icons like the Cookie Monster. Another fact about Yoda is Yoda was also, almost actually, going to be played as a monkey. Daniel Craig made a cameo as a stormtrooper in The Force Awakens. Despite denying it in an interview, the James Bond star did indeed play a stormtrooper in one of The Force Awakens' funnier scenes. Rey's initial attempts to use the Force on him fail, but her precision pays off as she persuades him to remove her restraints and drop his weapon. Another fact, Yoda in Sanskrit word for warrior. Actually, this seems to be the subject of debate. It could also be based on the Hebrew word Yodeya, I think that's how you say it, one who knows. In earlier drafts of the screenplay, he was actually named Buffy, but before being changed to Minch Yoda and eventually just Yoda. His species has never been named. Harrison Ford's casting as Han Solo was a happy accident. Ford was originally brought in to feed the lines to other actors, including a young Kurt Russell, as they auditioned for the role. But Ford's delivery convinced Lucas he was the main man for the job. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the painting I did. Leave a comment down below what you think this exact scene is from Star Wars. And yeah, I'll see you guys maybe Thursday, or I might see you guys next week. I'm not sure yet. But as the amazing words from Yoda himself, a Jedi used the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. See you guys next time. Have a good day.